Let me show you how easy it is to paint this festive fireworks scene. Hello, my name is Kim. I'm an artist and my goal is to help people learn how to paint in a fun and approachable way. Today I'm going to show you how absolutely anyone can create a beautiful acrylic painting in just a handful of simple steps. With that, let's get started. To start off, I've added some black at the very top of my canvas, some blue in the center, and some pink at the very bottom. And I'm going to use a large flat brush and I'm going to blend all the colors together until I get the gradient I want. Now that our gradient is finished, I've added some light yellow, some pink, and some orange to my palette, and I'm going to use these colors to paint the fireworks. So I'm going to start with the orange, and I'm going to paint in the largest fireworks first, and then I'm going to place some of the smaller fireworks around to complement it. So I recommend, if you are able to look up in Google to see any images of fireworks that you can help use as a reference, just so you have an idea of how you want this to look. The technique I'm using for this firework in particular is I'm using a medium-sized pointed brush and I'm pushing down at the very tip of the firework and with a lot of pressure, and then as I move towards the center of the firework, I'm lifting up my brush and relieving that pressure so that it's thicker on the outside and thinner on the inside. So this is a really simple technique you can use and you can layer it very nicely, and so I'm going to use this technique for quite a few of the fireworks. Alright, and now that we have the larger fireworks, I'm going to use the pink color and I'm going to add some fireworks in the background as well. And I'm going to use that reference again just to get some ideas for different types of fireworks, just to add some more variation to my painting. So this one I'm going to do a cluster of dots with some lighter with less paint and some darker with more paint. Okay, now I'm happy with that firework. I'm gonna add my all-time favorite firework, which is kind of a funny thing to say, to have a favorite firework, but I'm gonna try to describe it, but you'll see me painting it as well. So this is the one where it kind of explodes out from the center and then it's really bright on the outside. So I'm gonna use only a little bit of pink paint and I'm gonna create the lines from where it explodes outwards. And then I'm gonna use more paint on my brush and I'm just going to dip into the paint and add it to the very end so you can see the bits where it explodes outwards. Okay, so moving on to the last type of firework, I'm going to use the yellow for this, and I'm going to create another kind of firework that looks more like a starburst, so exploding from the center outwards in more of like a straight linear fashion. Okay, and I have a bit of a gap in the top right hand corner, so I'm just going to add one more yellow firework there. I'm going to follow the same technique I did with the orange firework from the beginning, but I'm just going to angle this one a little bit so it complements the rest that are already there, just by filling in that little bit section that's missing and overlapping some of the other fireworks. Okay, and last step for the fireworks is I'm gonna add some shooting off from the very bottom as well, just to fill in that part of the painting. But we are gonna be adding some people beneath, so make sure you don't paint all the way to the very bottom. We just wanna show that it's shooting up from somewhere. And with that, I'm gonna use some black paint now, and I'm gonna outline using a medium-sized pointed brush, the same brush from before, just where I want the viewing platform to be, and then I'll use a bigger brush to fill it in. Now that we have our viewing platform down below, I'm gonna paint in some people. I wanted to paint in a mother and child holding hands with the child kind of pointing up at the fireworks, but of course feel free to paint in whatever makes sense to you here. If there's like a certain scene you want to recreate, if it's you and your partner or you and a parent, I think this is a good place to be creative if there's something special you want to add. So as we near the end of the painting, I'm noticing there's also a blank space towards the left side of my canvas. And rather than adding in another firework, I'm gonna add in a tree just for some variation. And so I'm using that same medium pointed brush, and I'm just gonna dapple on some black to suggest the outline of a tree. We're gonna leave it as a silhouette. We're not gonna highlight it just yet, but I just wanted to add something extra there to fill in the space. Okay, you're doing great. We're almost finished. This last step is just gonna add that little bit of like je ne sais quoi to your painting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that same pointed brush, we're gonna dip into the orange, and I'm just going to highlight some of the sections where the fireworks are illuminating the people from behind. So I really wanna highlight the mother and child here, and also part of the viewing platform where the fireworks would naturally hit, just to make them more of the focus. And I'm also gonna do that same dappled effect on the tree. So the effect will be the strongest for where the fireworks are the closest, and then sort of fade and recede as it gets further. All right, and our absolute last step here is we're just gonna add a bit of water and like a very light wash of orange across the black viewing platform. And then I'm gonna create two shadows for the mom and child, just to show that they're being illuminated, and it just adds that little last touch to the painting. And with that, we're finished. If you had fun painting this fireworks scene together, then I think you're gonna love this next art tutorial I have for you on how to paint this beautiful city sunset silhouette. So click to watch, and I'll see you there.